You're listening to the Empowered Woman, Badass and Unfiltered podcast, a place for inspiration, empowerment, and personal development, showcasing badass women from all over the world, giving tips on personal development, mindset, and healing. I'm your host, Olivia, transformational success coach for spiritual female entrepreneurs. Now let's dive into this episode. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman, Badass and Unfiltered podcast. Your host, Olivia here, and I am talking to you today about knowing which habits to develop your success. So it's all good to, practice good habits, but what about the habits that are actually going to improve your life? That's the ones I want to talk about today. So the first thing that you got to do when you're developing the habits to promote your success is knowing what success means to you, not to other people. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of just using status symbols for what I wanted to be my success. It's empty. It's now I'm more so after like a goal lifestyle. Lifestyle's more important to me than possessions. And when I'm talking about lifestyle, you know what lifestyle really appears like? Do you know the lifestyle that really appeals to me? The schedule of retired people. I really like the schedule of retired people. And let me tell you why. Retired people go to work, not work, I'm sorry. Retired people go shopping in the middle of the day if they want to. Retired people don't have to go out to eat when everybody else goes out to eat, so they're missing like the rush. Retired people are driving around during the daytime, so there's not really a lot of traffic. Retired people can pick up and go whenever they want to. And, the type of retired people I'm talking about. I like that lifestyle, so one of my lifestyle goals is to get to the point where I'm more so on that schedule. But whatever success means to you, identify that when you are trying to produce the habits for your success. After you identify what success means to you, go ahead and start getting to know that person. What does that version of you do on the daily? You got to get real specific. What lights you up? How do you want to spend your time? How do you want to make your money? Where do you want to be? Those are things to really take into account. But what are you doing? Would that version, that successful version of you, would they get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning? Or are they cool with still getting up at 7, 8, 9? That's really up to what success means to you and what that version of you is. But identify that. So identify all those things that person's doing and then start doing those things. Yes, literally start doing them. And I know that's so much easier said than done. Well, these right here, this is the tips on how to practically implement them. Okay, so practically implementing the new goals that you have in your life, the new habits that you've got, they don't happen overnight. So you just start dripping them in. Don't do everything all at once. So let's go back to the waking up thing. Let's say the best version, the most successful version of you identified by what you deem as success gets up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Well, let's say that you currently get up at 8. Well, let's say, okay, now we're going to start getting up at 6. This is a great time to start implementing a morning routine, because it's not just, you don't want to get up at 6 and just be not knowing what to do, just, I'm going to get up at 6, but I don't have really a plan of things to do with my time. Find things to do with that time that fill your cup. I'm telling you, there's a reason that people get up at that time. It's usually to fill their cup. It's usually for that morning routine. So go ahead and figure out what that morning routine would look like for your current life situation. but it's a habit. The habit of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning is what you want to stick. Now, if you're going to be having, a coffee and a Bible study or whatever you choose to be doing for your morning routine, getting active, whatever it is, make sure it works for you and adjust it as your lifestyle, as your life adjusts. And you don't need to be spending like a whole hour or nothing doing something crazy that doesn't excite you. Spend as much time as you need to get filled up that your current schedule allows. All right, another example of this. A lot of people like the weight loss stuff, so we're going to go with the weight loss stuff. I'm big on this. Use your initiation habits. All right. So let's say you want to go to the gym. You're thinking about all the workouts you're going to do, and you get all this anxiety because you ain't been to the gym in a while. And you know what? I've been there. But you got to get over that. You got to stop using the excuses of other people's thoughts. I don't know who needs to hear that, but other people's thoughts ain't got nothing to do with you getting to where you want to get to. You got to focus on what makes you happy, what makes you the best version of yourself for the people in your life. And you're obviously doing that because you're listening to a podcast on knowing how to develop your habits for success. So you're obviously, good job. Good job. All right. Stop letting other people get in your way. All right. So if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at oliviatmcook.com. That is my email. Or you can hit me up on Instagram at coach_live or my Facebook. All of my links are linked below. And yeah, as always, go out and be a badass.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Empowered Woman, Badass and Unfiltered podcast. If you found any value in this, please consider sharing and subscribing. Now go out and be a badass.